maybe sometime this month we'll get this thing running. I got my gas tank for the short bed in today. This is off a 87 through 90 Jeep. Hopefully I can get it working. The guy on the forum said you can. I read a bunch of things on it, but I'm not ready yet. But I'm pretty excited. Came in today, so I'll give you guys a tour of the garage again. This is the wiring harness. Look at that chaos. I marked everything, took it off. It's seriously, I don't know. I think every plug was frozen and I was frozen. So I think it took us an hour just to pull the harness off. And I'll be getting rid of hopefully 90% of those wires and tucking everything. And I can't imagine how long this is going to take. But I'm excited for the challenge. I know Brandon, who you guys met, wants me to buy a new harness, but I want the challenge. I don't know. I want to see how many of those tabs I can break off again. They glued the ones on the transmission on. I don't know if that's normal or not, but that sucked. So you'll see that. That'll be a whole different video series, I'm sure. I think I'm going to try to do the blue truck as its own deal. Hopefully it'll be done soon. And then the short bed will be a different thing for the winter. Yay. I get to mess with the windshield. This is a big day. My two least favorite things on this truck that I've been putting off are replacing this windshield and welding all the rusted stuff up by the visor. So windshield's coming out today. I tried to pull my wipers off the other day. They're stuck pretty good, so we'll work on that again today. But I fixed all this. I'll pull this windshield out today. See how hard that is. Still stinks in here. There's like some nest crap in there from some mice or something, and they caught on fire while I was welding. So it stinks. There's a wiring harness for my 5.3 liter that I bought. I spent all day yesterday. It was raining and cold. Spent all day reading up on wiring harnesses. I've read books on it, read tons and tons of articles, but still I need to draw like a schematic for it and jump into it. I don't think you learn until you go for it. So got some leaking in here. I think that's coming from the windshield. I cracked this thing a bunch the other day, so whatever. Pull this windshield out today. Hopefully put the new one in. Try to get my dad to help me. See how hard this is gonna be. So that's where I'm at. Basically the rubber looks like this. The big flap. So I just cut and ripped as much as I could and then pushed it out. I actually got it out by myself, which I'm pretty surprised about. But I mean, it's all cracked. I was afraid it's gonna shatter and then picking up pieces all day, but so I'm gonna clean this edge really well. That way that seal sits in there good. I don't really know what I'm gonna use to clean that, but maybe a little wire brush or something. Like they use some kind of adhesive in there a little bit. So clean that, but all that looks pretty good. I was a little afraid that was gonna be rotted in there, but it's not. That's just like some glue crap, but it's actually looking pretty good. I didn't want to scratch the paint, so I put this blanket down. So yeah, looking pretty good. But you can see why all this stuff leaks. It all runs down the seam sealer into your cab, which really sucks. So yeah, a lot of cleaning to do. Hopefully I'll be ready by the time my dad gets out here later. Back on the windshield. This is my new one. Here's my new rubber. We're gonna try to get the stainless in a second, but I cleaned all this up, put a little seam sealer up in here. The seam weld runs down. I didn't want water leaking in there too much, as I'm sure I've already vented about my short bed. It leaks in on my feet when I drive, which is probably awesome for it. Hopefully we get this in with no problems in the next 10-20 minutes. That's what we're pulling for. Alright, well, This is just as fun as I imagined it to be. I don't even think we're at the worst part yet, but putting the stainless in is not easy. Just as a heads up, there's kind of a little lip. Well, not on this piece, but on this piece, there's a little lip that sits in there. It's kind of hard to get the rubber all the way up and everything fitted in, especially in these corners. You can tell it doesn't want to sit all in there. There's probably a technique, and we're gonna find out later after we're done, but there's probably a technique to get it in there better. But I feel good about our performance so far. I think we're champions, and we're gonna get this done before dark. All right, we got the stainless and the rubber on the windshield. Taped it all up. Got my rope in there. We'll see how this goes. That wasn't that much fun. Basically, the rubber that the stainless sits behind was too thick, so I had to bend the tab all the way around the stainless. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me later. Hopefully it lets the stainless still clamp in there. Still will have pressure against it, but it might try to back out a little bit. But whoever made that rubber, I don't know, either didn't measure right or something's different. Aftermarket parts, you know. So we're gonna try to get this in. I'm not gonna film it because it's not gonna go well. Like my face expressions will not be good. So hey, so it's really cold today. Really cold. We had a big snowstorm come through, or ice storm. So I did a little bit of work outside, but I forgot to bring the camera out. I put my turn signal little piece back in that I glued and made some little metal attachments to kind of hold it together. I didn't want to spend $45 on it. So I put that in, dealt with the horn, which was an issue. But I got it in. I didn't realize that I turned this little metal flap backwards. It kind of puts tension on your horn button to release it. I didn't realize I put it the other way, and I had my horn hooked up. I'm just listening to my horn honk for a long time while I'm messing with it. But I also forgot to film. I am sewing up my visors on top. So basically that pulled apart right here. Basically the thread just is gone. It's not ripped or anything, which is real good. So it's warm inside, so I brought this inside and did this one earlier. I'm gonna do this one now. Basically I'm just kind of feeding it back through the same holes. Slow. It's fun though. Actually, I like being warm. I like being inside. So I'm gonna clean this one up and then take it inside and then finish it. Look at that caked on crap. I like this little clip. But I'm gonna clean that up, sew this one up, and then I'm gonna try to work on my seat. I think I'm gonna pull these inside. I cleaned them up enough that I don't feel like I'm gonna ruin the carpet inside, so I'm gonna pull one at a time and make some seat covers for this. I've been looking for this material, which is cool, which is crazy because it actually looks way different than this one. I guess it still aligns, so maybe it's not. It's just the other piece I have is real faded, so it looks different. But man, if I could find something that in that blue, I'd be so happy. Yep, there's my seat. So basically I use these are kind of like poles for your yard. I use those, sewed them in. That way I could pull evenly so it didn't stretch like this. That's what I'm working on. I kind of stitched all this side with some juke rope. I'm gonna stitch up here in a second. And then we'll go put them on. Hopefully this doesn't get in the way too much. I know that was already pretty tight before, but I'm gonna make it work. So I stitched up my seat. I think I showed you guys some of that. I didn't mount it yet because I'm not totally sure if I'm about to take this tank out or not. I'm not sure what's going on about getting fuel in, but it seems like I'm not getting fuel in very well to the car. But I also did just pull out a chunk out of the carburetor, so maybe It was a part of a fuel filter, but I sewed this up. I used some of this juke rope. Hopefully it holds up. I like how it turned out, except for the back of the seat is a different blanket. This one I bought in Ohio. The other one I bought in Mexico. I wish it was the same, but it's not. So I'm about to start up the engine. Alright, haven't been filming. It's unreal cold. Wind chill in the teens if I'm lucky. But I've been really busy today. I'm taking the short bed over to my friend's shop. And we're gonna start the LS this weekend. Start and hopefully be done on Monday. Everything's ready. Drive shaft is probably the biggest holdup, just because we're doing it over the weekend. The guy said it's a one-day turnaround for the shaft, so loading all my tools up. My friend has a bunch of tools, but most of the stuff is at his work, so loading everything up. It's a little chaotic, but I need to drive my long bed by while we're doing the short bed. So today I tried to tune the carb. Sorry to sit here, it's way too cold out. Tried to tune the carb. It was going and then it would stop, and it was driving me insane, and it's been kind of doing that a lot lately, but I haven't been working on it that much lately. I've been trying to do all my wiring, and I've been doing other stuff, so it's kind of my fault. I need to just suck it up and get out in the cold, but you can probably see my breath. But this came out. I finally realized I couldn't. There wasn't crap in my fuel line. I thought that was kind of the issue. It seemed like it wasn't getting fuel. Well, it wasn't getting fuel because I used up all the fuel because I'm a moron. I only put a couple gallons in it, and I must have already burned it up by just trying to run it for a while. So I can't explain how frustrating that is whenever it's not cranking over, and it was earlier. And so whatever, I went and got some gas, put it in. We got the timing light out. I put it to right around 12 to 14, I think. Advanced, I think. It wasn't liking it lower. It didn't like the lower numbers. The one guy was saying 8 was what the factory said. Everyone else was saying 10 to 12, but I thought the 14, it kind of liked the 14 a little more. So just hooked the vacuum line back up, and I'm gonna drive it across the street. I got a parking lot across the street from me. So this is gonna be the first cruise. Hopefully the brakes work good enough to get to that parking lot, because they're self-adjusting brakes, so usually if you back up they kind of ratchet themselves open. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the brake booster works too. So here's the truck. I turned my sorry if I yelled at you, but I kind of adjusted the screw to let it rev a little higher. I think it kind of likes idling a little bit higher, but brakes feel okay. Not the best, but well, come on, tranny. The struggle is real. Sorry, it's not going. Something's up with the tranny. I don't know. I'm gonna try to figure it out. All right, we're back. So I think we fixed it. It's moving. It's a little slow. I think basically, since it's a newer radiator in there, I think it filled up the radiator. Like cooler, tranny cooler, and so I didn't have enough fluid in there, so I think that's why it wasn't shifted. So now we're gonna back up. Again, it's not working.